Nola's beautiful hair. In a quiet village surrounded by tall green trees and dusty roads, lived a young African girl named Nola. She was known by everyone for two things: her beautiful long natural hair that flowed down her back like dark silk, and her warm smile that could make even the saddest person feel at peace. Nola was a little chubby, with soft cheeks, bright brown eyes, and smooth dark skin that glowed in the sunlight. She lived with her mother, her two younger brothers, and her stepfather. Her mother loved her deeply. Nola was born before her mother married again, and when her mother later married Mlabini, they had two boys together. To the village, they looked like one happy family. But inside the house, things were different. Mlabini never truly accepted Nola. Whenever her mother was around, he acted kind. He would call her my daughter, smile at her, and sometimes buy her sweets from the market. But every kind thing he did seemed heavy on his heart, as if loving her was a burden. Nola noticed it slowly as she grew older. When her brothers needed school shoes, Mlabini bought them immediately. But when Nola needed books for school, he would sigh loudly and ask endless questions. "Do you really need them now? Can't you share with someone? Why are you always asking for things?" His words cut deeper each year. Sometimes at dinner, he served the boys large pieces of meat while Nola got the smallest portion. Other times, he ignored her completely, speaking only to his sons as if she was invisible. And the painful part was that he only became warm when her mother was watching. At night, Nola would lie awake on her grass mat, staring at the roof while tears rolled silently down her cheeks. "What did I do wrong?" she would whisper to herself. Her mother noticed the sadness in Nola's eyes, but every time she tried to speak to Mlabini, he denied everything. "You are imagining things," he would say calmly. "I love all the children equally." And because he pretended so well, her mother stayed quiet. Years passed. Nola grew into a beautiful young woman. Men in the village admired her kindness and gentle spirit. Even though pain lived inside her heart, she never allowed it to make her cruel. One afternoon, while returning from the river carrying water on her head, Nola met a young man named Themba. Themba was tall, soft-spoken, and respectful. Unlike other men who only noticed Nola's beauty, Themba noticed her sadness. "You smile with your mouth," he once told her softly, "but not with your eyes." His words shook her heart. For the first time, someone had truly seen her. Little by little, they began talking more often. Themba would help her carry water, walk her home, and make her laugh until her stomach hurt. Around him, Nola felt safe. One evening, after walking her home, Themba stopped beneath the moonlight and looked at her carefully. "Nola," he said gently, "you have suffered quietly for too long. A woman like you deserves peace." Tears filled her eyes because nobody had ever spoken to her that way before. Months later, Themba visited her family with his uncles to ask for her hand in marriage. Nola's heart trembled with fear and happiness. To everyone's surprise, Mlabini smiled proudly in front of the guests, pretending again to be a loving father. But this time, Nola no longer needed his approval to know her worth. As the marriage discussions continued, Mlabini suddenly became sick. The strong man who once filled the house with fear slowly weakened day by day. Before long, he passed away. The village mourned him, but inside Nola's heart lived confusing emotions. She did not celebrate his death, but she felt something she had never felt before: freedom. For the first time in her life, she could breathe without fear. A few weeks later, Nola married Themba in a joyful village wedding filled with singing, dancing, and laughter. Her mother cried tears of happiness as she watched her daughter leave with a man who truly loved her. Themba treated Nola with kindness every single day. He brushed her long hair gently at night, listened when she spoke, and never made her feel unwanted. One evening, as they sat outside watching the sunset, Nola rested her head on his shoulder. "I used to think I was hard to love," she whispered. Themba held her hand tightly. "No," he said softly. "Some people simply fail to love what is good." Tears rolled down Nola's face, but this time they were not tears of pain. They were tears of healing. And from that day forward, Nola finally understood something important. A child should never suffer because of the mistakes or choices of adults. A real man does not punish a child for not being his own. Love is shown not in words spoken before people, but in how someone treats you when nobody is watching. And though Nola's childhood carried pain, her story still ended with love, peace, and the family she had always dreamed of.